Happy Wednesday, everybody. Jonathan Pollard here with West Coast Weather. Today is December 20th, and we're going to talk about this strong storm system that's moving down the California coast as I speak. There's already been some thunderstorm activity with this cold front that's bringing some moderate to heavy rainfall to parts of central California, and it's starting to move towards southern California and Santa Barbara counties, Ventura County, and also LA County as well. So we're going to take a big look at this storm system as it meanders towards Southern California over the next couple days, bringing some potential for flooding, rainfall, also an isolated tornado chance as well with some of the thunderstorms that will be moving onto the coast. There's also going to be some windy conditions up in the higher terrain especially. And then we're also going to take a quick look at the extended forecast as it looks like the West Coast in California is going to start getting some storm systems into the area as we go through later this weekend into next week. So Christmas is looking soggy for some people as we go through next week, but we'll also take a look at the Christmas forecast real quickly. And if you enjoy these videos and find them informative, just please hit that like button, subscribe buttons down below this video. It helps the channel out and it's very appreciated. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now we're looking at the general ridge and trough positions on the European model. You can see that our cutoff low is starting to move towards the California coastline right now. It has merged with that weaker system that was affecting California and parts of the West Coast the last couple days. And if we play this through, you can see it starting to move down the coastline, but it kind of just stalls out off the southwest California coastline before another little impulse of energy moving into the Pacific Northwest grabs hold of it and flings it towards the southwest United States into parts of Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico before moving off into the central part of the US. And if we take a quick look at the Christmas forecast, you can see that the ridging is starting to build over the West Coast, and you can also see that that previous storm system is kind of still hanging on the California, but it should be far enough away where it's not going to be creating much issues on Christmas. But if we play in by Christmas afternoon, you can see this powerful trough that's forming over the Gulf of Alaska. This is going to bring a potential for an atmospheric river to move into the Pacific Northwest and maybe some precipitation in the California as we go through Christmas and into the days leading after Christmas. So we'll just continue to look at this as it looks like some people may be having a soggy Christmas day. No snow chances unless you're in the higher terrain of parts of the Cascades in Washington, Oregon, and the Southwest BC. And now we're looking at the jet stream right now, about over 30,000 feet in the atmosphere. This is on the European model. You can see that this storm system is almost not cut off low as it's starting to be influenced by the subtropical jet stream. So the subtropical jet stream is this other part of the jet stream that's farther south in the subtropic regions. And you can see that this storm system's kind of interacting with this jet stream. So it's not entirely a cutoff low. So because it's part of the jet stream a bit. And you can see this kind of get hooked onto the jet stream and then it gets pushed out as the subtropical jet stream and the polar jet stream strengthen as we go to the days right before Christmas. And then here's the 700 millibar temperatures. This is like a couple 10,000 feet in the atmosphere. You can see the kind of bowling ball of cold air that's moving into California. This is bringing some cold air into the warm subtropical air, which is leading to the storm system forming. And you can see that bowling ball kind of just hang out over Southern California before this cold air and impulse of energy with a storm system moving the Pacific Northwest grabs hold of it and launches it into the central US as we go towards Christmas Eve. Now this is looking at the mean sea level pressure on the European model. You can see our storm system off the coast of California. Anywhere else in the world, this 1002 millibar pressure low would not be that crazy. But for California, this is a rather strong low pressure system. And you can see that it kind of just sits off the California coast. And this is just going to pump warm subtropical moisture into parts of Southern California as we go through Thursday and Friday. That's going to bring some flooding rainfall to parts of the mountain locations and also parts of the LA metro, depending on where the heaviest rain showers set up. And then here's looking at the precipitable water on the European model. The greens and brighter colors are a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. And if we play this out as we go through later tonight into Thursday, you can see this high level of moisture, subtropical moisture streaming up from the south. This is because the counterclockwise spin of the low pressure system drags this moisture up from the subtropics, and you can see it's perpendicular to some of the transverse coastal mountain ranges of Ventura, Santa Barbara, and LA counties. And this is going to lead to a lot of orographic lift, and that enhances rainfall totals over some of the coastal mountain ranges. So there could be some 4 to 8 inches of rainfall in some of these isolated locations in the mountains. This is going to rise the creeks and rivers and streams very high, and there's going to be definitely some urban and small stream flooding issues as we go through later this week. And you can see this finally kicks out of the area as we go through later on Saturday as the upper level low kicks out eastward. And here's looking at the 6-hour precipitation on the European model. You can see the heavy precipitation starting to move down into parts of Ventura and Santa Barbara counties as we go through later tonight into Thursday morning. This moisture pump just sits there and aims at Southern California before it starts turning southeasterly and kind of paralleling the coastline as we go through Friday. That'll kind of end the heaviest precipitation for much of Southern California before the precipitation moves off into southeastern California and a lot of Arizona as we go through later Friday into Saturday morning. And now let's look at the day one convective outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. This is kind of showing us where the greatest thunderstorm chances today are. You can see for today, Wednesday, you can see the thunderstorm chances just north of the Bay Area all the way down to San Diego. And if we go over to the day two outlook, this starts moving farther south, and it's mainly from just north of Santa Barbara County all the way down the southeastern California and parts of southern Arizona as well. And the day three outlook, this is for Friday into Saturday. You can see the thunderstorm chances are starting to move eastward and southward as we go through Friday and Saturday. This means the thunderstorm chances will kind of move just south of LA into much of the southwest US. Now, this is looking at the Weather Prediction Center. This is the day one excessive rainfall outlook. This is basically showing us where the heightened chances are for some flash flooding issues. And you can see they've issued a moderate risk for parts of Santa Barbara and Ventura counties, and a slight risk extending in the LA County for most of today as some of those heavier showers and thunderstorms moving onto the coastline. A moderate risk is a relatively rare occurrence in California and means that there's definitely a pretty strong chance of some excessive rainfall and flash flooding. So definitely keep your eyes on those river forecasts near your area and some of those flood prone areas. And if we look at the Weather Prediction Center day two excessive outlook, this is for December 21st and through the December 22nd. And you can see the moderate risk as we go through Thursday and the Friday morning is moving south towards including the LA metro areas and parts of southern LA, Ventura, and Santa Barbara counties, and the slight risk extends all the way down to San Diego, where some flash flooding is possible, and especially urban flooding and small stream and river flooding also. And if we go into the day three outlook, that you can see the main event is kind of ending as we go through Friday into Saturday, but there's still a marginal risk of excessive rainfall for parts of Southern County, including San Diego and just south of Las Vegas and then into most of southern Arizona. So definitely still keep your eye out if you're in parts of Southern California as we go through Friday into Saturday. Now looking at the total precipitation inches on the national blended models. If we play this through, you can see that precipitation really starting to build up as we go through this evening into tomorrow morning. Then you can see it comes and goes as we go all the way through Friday. You can see down here the max precipitation on this model is showing up over 8 inches for parts of the transverse ranges of Ventura and LA and Santa Barbara counties. And some places maybe out LA getting 2 to 3 inches, but this is going to be some sporadic rainfall because a lot of this rainfall is going to be associated with showers and thunderstorms. So that means some places just a few miles away from your house maybe get like 2 to 4 inches of rain, and you're only getting maybe an inch of rain. That's because it really depends where the heaviest showers and thunderstorms actually set up. So definitely some flash flooding issues and urban flooding issues due to this excessive rainfall. And then now we're looking at the HRRR. This is the composite reflectivity, or what the radar may look like. And you can see this morning the heavier showers moving through the Bay Area and parts of San Jose. And this is going to gradually move east, south, and east as we go through later tonight. And then you can see the heavy showers and potential thunderstorms with the isolated tornado risk starting to move into parts of Santa Barbara and Ventura counties as we go through this evening. You can see this very intense band of rainfall that just sets up on the HRRR and just continues flooding the area with a lot of heavy rainfall as we go through Thursday and the Friday. Never drive over flooded roadways because you never know how deep the water is on the roadway, and even a foot of water can sweep a vehicle off its wheels. So be very careful out there and you do not cross flooded roadways. And as the National Weather Service always says, turn around, don't drown. And you can see the heavy rainfall continuing as we go through Friday morning for much of Southern California before it finally starts kicking off east later into Friday. And now we're looking at the NAM 3KM. This is the composite reflectivity as well. You can see the powerful cold front starting to move south and east. And then it's also got a powerful band of rainfall, but you can see it's a little farther west and keeps some of this heavier the prolonged heavier rain just off the coastline of Santa Barbara County. And this is going to lead for that means some of the heaviest rainfall is not actually going to be hitting land. This is a possibility, and hopefully this does happen because it will reduce the flood risk. There's still going to be some flooding with this scenario, but it's going to be less severe. And then you can see some showers continuing as we go through Friday morning, and as we go through Friday afternoon, this is kind of kicking off east, even east of San Diego. So it just really depends on exactly where these showers set up. So some people may be getting a ton of rainfall, and then you go 5 miles away and they're not getting that much there. And then you can see this is the surface-based CAPE or convective available potential energy. This is basically showing how much energy there is in the atmosphere for thunderstorms. And you can see there's a lot of energy in the atmosphere as we go through later today into Thursday for a lot of the coastline. This is going to lead to some intense shower and thunderstorm activity. And also the instability in the atmosphere leads to heavier rainfall rates, which this is going to heighten the excessive rainfall and flooding risks as we go through the next couple of days. And you can see this kind of meander before finally starting to kick out as we go through later on Friday. And now we're looking at the SIG tornado parameters on the NAM 3KM. This basically shows where the greatest potential there is for some isolated water spouts and tornadoes. There's already been some special marine warnings out there on the coast of Santa Barbara County for potential water spouts with some of these showers and thunderstorms as they move through. And you can see this picks up this afternoon as the instability builds, and you can really see this on the NAM. It kind of targets Santa Barbara County, but the chances for some isolated tornado and weak water spout potential will also include maybe parts of San Diego as well as we go through later on Thursday and into Friday. So just keep your eyes out on the sky and keep weather aware from the National Weather Service if they issue any special marine warnings or possible tornado warnings as we go through the next couple days for Southern California. Now here's the rainfall outlook from the National Weather Service of San Diego, California. You can see some of the mountain areas of Ventura and Santa Barbara counties may be approaching 7 to 10 inches of rainfall. That is a lot of rainfall in just a couple day period, especially for Southern California. So it will definitely lead to some rising river levels and also flooding conditions for a lot of some of the lowland places as well. They're also showing a widespread 2 to 4 inches of rainfall for the Los Angeles metro areas. I'm not 100% sure about this, as some of these showers look to possibly just stay a little west of LA. So some of these rainfall totals may not actually happen. So if you're in one part of the city and don't get that much rainfall compared to the other side, that's just because the heavier showers and thunderstorms decided to set up a little farther west or east of you. And you can see they're showing 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rainfall for San Diego. So very rainy and strong storm system moving into Southern California. And now there's also some additional rainfalls we go through later today for parts of Northern California as well. About maybe an extra 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rainfall for parts of Sacramento, maybe an extra 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain for parts of San Francisco and San Jose as we go through later today. Wet and slick roadways, longer than normal commute, roadway ponding, minor nuisance, flooding of poor drainage areas. So just make sure to go slower on those roadways out there, as the rain can make the roadways pretty slick and can lead to some car crashes. So just be careful out there. And here's also a good graphic from the National Weather Service of Los Angeles. This is showing that there's 2 to 4 inches of rain possible for the coasts and valleys, 4 to 8 inches for the foothills/mountains, local amounts of 8 to 10 inches possible for the highest south-facing slopes. So definitely some flooding issues with that amount of rainfall. Widespread flooding/hydraulic issues, urban/small stream flooding, possible risk of debris flows and avalanches, especially near burn scars, especially south of a south fire in Ventura County. There's also a chance of thunderstorms, remote risk of small, short-lived tornadoes. Tornadoes are definitely not the main risk, but it is a risk. Snow levels will be relatively high, 7,500 to 9,000 feet, so not expecting any sort of snowstorm in some of the mountain ranges. Southeast winds gusting 30 to 50 miles per hour, isolated 60 miles per hour, strongest in the mountains. Clear out debris from rain gutters and waterways, possible power outages and down trees. Use caution driving due to slick roads. And now here's looking at the National Weather Service of Los Angeles. And you can see that there's flood watches and wind advisories up. There's a special marine warning for just to the west of San Luis Obispo. And you can see that the flood warning is up for almost the entire Southern California coastline. So they're definitely expecting some sort of flooding issues as we go through the next couple days. Now we're looking at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. This is valid from December 25th through the 29th. So Christmas through the end of December. Above average temperatures for the West Coast as Pacific storm systems bring that modest air into the area. 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. This is going to be, it looks to be above average precipitation as we go through later into December as those Pacific storm systems start moving into the West Coast. If we look at the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, this is for December 27th through January 2nd. This is above average temperatures expected as those Pacific systems continue into the region. And also 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook, bullseye on California and much of the West Coast as those potential atmospheric rivers and also plenty of Pacific storm systems move into the West Coast. So plenty of stuff to look at as we go through the coming weeks. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you everybody for watching. Stay safe out there for all those who are especially in Santa Barbara, Ventura, and LA counties. Keep an eye out on the forecast the next couple of days. I'll likely have another video out on either Friday and Saturday talking about the extended forecast for the entire West Coast. And just make sure to keep your eyes on the skies and do not cross over flooded roadways, as you have no idea how deep the water is on the road. So if you enjoyed this video and found it informative, just please hit that like button, subscribe buttons down below. Also hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss out on any new videos I post. And take care, God bless, and have a wonderful rest of your week and stay safe.